Lesson 30. 30th lesson. The present perfect tense. 2. In lesson 29 you have a new form of the verb, viz. the present perfect tense. We form this by using have with the past participle. E.g., he has lived in England for 50 years. People have laughed at his plays. He has read all the books. I have heard of those writers. I have seen that picture at the cinema. He has written plays. He has said that time and time again. I have left my book at home. You have done this exercise well. The past participle of regular verbs has the same form as the simple past tense, e.g. lived, laughed. The past participles of all the irregular verbs in this book are in the appendix on p. 236. He has read all the books. To form the negative we use not with have and the past participle, e.g., he has not lived in England for 50 years. People have not laughed at his plays. He has not read all the books. I have not heard of those writers. You have not done this exercise well. You have not brought your book. In conversation we often shorten has not to hasn't and have not to haven't. You have not done this exercise well. To form the interrogative we put the verb have, has before the subject, e.g. has he lived in England for 50 years? Have people laughed at his plays? Has he read all the books? Have you seen that picture at the cinema? Has he written plays? What has he written? Have you all done your homework? What has he written? One use of this tense is to express an action in the past when the time of the action is indefinite. We use the simple past tense when the time is definite, e.g. Have you seen any of Shaw's plays? Indefinite time, present perfect tense B. Yes, I saw one last week. Definite time, simple past tense. A. He has written the letter. Indefinite time B. He wrote it this morning. Definite time I have done the homework. Indefinite time B. I did it last night. Definite time I did it last night. Not, ever, never. Note the place of these words, and of other such words, e.g. always, sometimes, often, in the present perfect tense. They generally come just before the past participle, e.g. in these examples the past participles have a box round them. I have not done my work. He has read every book that I have ever heard of. I have never heard of that book. Jan has always liked studying English. I have sometimes gone to Dublin by aeroplane. Hob has often left his book at home. Question phrases. 1. Sometimes, particularly in conversation, we ask a question by making an affirmative statement and adding a negative question phrase, like this: affirmative statement. Negative phrase. Mr. Priestley has a lot of books in his study. Hasn't he? You were talking about Christmas presents, weren't you? She's got a book, hasn't she? It is a nice morning. Isn't it? This is a pretty little town. Isn't it? You are coming with us, aren't you? Jan and Frida are coming with us, aren't they? That was a good dinner, wasn't it? Frida is a pretty girl, isn't she? You have some sheep on your farm, haven't you? He has done his homework, hasn't he? You had a lesson this morning, hadn't you? You can speak English, can't you? He could tell the difference between good and bad coffee, couldn't he? Hob must work harder, mustn't he? He ought to do his homework, oughtn't he? They will come tomorrow, won't they? You will see me next Friday, won't you? Jan plays football, doesn't he? Mr. Priestley often works late. Doesn't he? The students see him every day, don't they? Jan did all the homework, didn't he? Hob left his book at home, didn't he? If the verb in the statement is one of the special verbs, the question phrase uses the same verb. If the verb in the statement is not a special verb, then the question phrase uses do, does, or did. Pronunciation drill. Revision. Live, alive, marmalade minute, Monday, morning, move, museum, new, once parliament, people, poem, source, strength, sugar, talk, walk, wash was watch. Exercises. Exercise 1. Make these sentences interrogative. 1. Pedro has read this book. 2. T.S. Eliot has written many poems. 3. The girls have given their friend a clock. 4. I have told you the answer to the question. 5. This writer has lived in England for a long time. 6. Pedro has seen some of his plays. Be careful with some. Remember page 135. 7. Hob has left his book at home. 8. Lizzie has cooked the dinner. 9. Frida has written a letter home. 10. Mr. Priestley has corrected Hob's homework. Exercise 2. Make the sentences in Exercise 1 negative. Exercise 3. Add question phrases to the following. 1. It's a fine day. 2. You are studying English. 3. He is a handsome man. 4. She is very well dressed. 5. Lucille has a new car. 6. My work is right. 7. You were in England last year. 8. He can speak English. 9. You could understand me. 10. They must do the work. 11. Hob ought to come early. 12. You will write to me. 13. She can come tomorrow. 14. He gives a lesson every day. 15. You read modern writers. 16. Shaw wrote St. Joan. 17. They gave her a clock. 18. You went to the theatre. 19. I wrote to you. 20. He speaks English. Exercise 4. Change the verbs in these sentences from simple past tense into present perfect tense. 1. I read the book. 2. He wrote a new book. 3. She gave her friend a clock. 4. He told me the answer to my question. 5. They went away with some friends. 6. Mr. Priestley spoke to me about you. 7. The students wrote some short stories. 8. I understood the work very well. 9. Mr. Priestley told the students about some English writers. 10. Lizzie cooked the dinner for Mr. Priestley. 11. We saw a play by Shaw. 12. Pedro gave us the tickets. 13. He went to the theatre with Frida. 14. They went to the theatre with Frida. 15. We spoke about the play before. 16. He spoke about the play before. 17. I spoke about the play before. 18. Hob left his book at home. 19. All the students left their books at home. 20. You did that work well. Thank you very much for the likes, and subscribe to our channel.